I'd like to welcome everybody to our city meeting tonight. We'll just ask if you could please silence or turn off your cell phones, and we'd also like to remind everyone that our meetings are available for showing every day on Channel 2 at 6 p.m. and midnight, and also on YouTube. And with that, we will open with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a silent prayer.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first item tonight will be old business. Consideration of previous meeting minutes from July 23rd, 2024, regular meeting, and August 6th, 2024, special meeting. If there's no questions, just need a motion.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes for regular meeting, July 23rd, 2024, and the special meeting of August 6th, 2024.
Second.
All right. Motion's been seconded. We'll begin voting with Commissioner Bowder.
Aye.
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 All right, motion passed 5-0. Item 2, second consideration ordinance number 8247, denial of special use permit at 1701 South 4th Street.
Mr. Mayor, Commission, tonight is the second consideration to for the ordinance adopting the recommendation of the Planning Commission to deny issuance of a special use permit for a solid waste facility in the I-2 zoning district located at 1701 South 4th Street. There has been no changes since the first introduced at the July 23rd, 2024 meeting. And it's important to, when you make this vote tonight, to specifically identify the commissioners and how they vote.
Sure thing. Okay, any questions from anybody?
No.
Okay. We do just need to then begin with the roll call vote, and we'll go first with Commissioner Bowder, and if you could follow suit with it.
Aye.
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 Holly.
And Commissioner Pittman?
And you didn't call out the names. That's what he asked for.
Okay, yep, no, you're right. So we got Commissioner Bowder as aye.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson is aye.
Aye. Mayor Griff Martin is aye.
Commissioner Higgins is aye.
And Commissioner Pittman is aye.
Aye.
For the record, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the new business public comment. And Sarah, do we have anybody tonight?
We do. We have a few. First up is Kyle Forbes.
Okay, and if you come up, if you could just please state your name and address, and if we could limit our comments to 2-3 minutes, that'd be great.
Okay. My name's Kyle Forbes, 1934 Potawatomi Street. I'd like to start off by saying thank you for everyone for being here this evening. I appreciate your time. Like I said, my name's Kyle Forbes. I'm a homeowner here in Leavenworth. I've been a homeowner here since 2008. I'm here today to seek some kind of ordinance or legislation to prevent fixed security cameras being on 10 to 12-foot poles in trees on property boundary lines and looking over a privacy fence. Approximately 2 years ago, we had some new neighbors move in behind us. Approximately 4 months after they moved in, they began to cut brush between two fences, stating it was tearing up, the chain link fence. I told them, okay, no problem. We'll have, we never cut the brush because we like the privacy that it did. And I told them to do whatever they need to do to, do whatever you need to do, but we'll probably go ahead and put up a privacy fence because we like our privacy. In the process of me calling DigSafe and waiting on them to mark out utilities would take several days, they put up 4 cameras along the back of their fence pointing in our backyard. We thought, what in the world are they doing? So I asked them, what's up with the cameras? The lady said, if I wasn't doing what I was doing, they wouldn't need to put the cameras up. I'm like, so I asked, well, what are you referring to? She said, she accused me of being up on my roof, shining lights into her house 2 nights in a row, jumping over the fences and going through the yard. So finally I was like, this lady's cuckoo crazy, So, flabbergasted and confused, I asked her what she was referring to, and she said, all that stuff. At this point, I'm going, oh my God, this lady's crazy. After a couple days, DigSafe marked out utilities. I installed a beautiful stained 6-foot privacy fence, which cost me $2,000 in materials and 2 days of my time to install. Literally 2 hours after I got done with the fence, she pulls the cameras up that were below the fence line and installed them on her roof and covered porch so she could look over the fence. She then hid a camera in a bush in the corner of her yard that was past our privacy fence so she could look around it. Luckily, my neighbor allowed me to install another 10-foot section of privacy fence to finish that off. And then after we installed that fence there, she got really angry, and that's when she began to put up poles on 10, 12 foot in the air, and she's putting them in trees. I gave some pictures to Sarah here. She'll email it. I emailed everybody all this stuff yesterday. I don't know if everybody received that or not.
Yep.
So let's see. All right. We have reached out many times throughout the last 2 years to the city of Leavenworth and the police department with no help. The police told us to create privacy. So I went down to the city to ask about planting some evergreen trees. They told me I was not allowed to have any trees over 6 foot for the use of screening. So here I am being told to create privacy, but the city won't allow me to. So here I am today asking and begging for help from leaders of the city to do something. The police department has been called at least a dozen times over this issue, costing hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars in resources and taxpayer money over this. I believe an ordinance would greatly reduce issues like this, which will in the long run reduce wasteful spending of police resources, which I think we can all agree are in short demand in this day and age. Please help in aiding us in this issue that we are having, which I believe we will see more issues like this with the technology getting better and cheaper. If anybody would like to request any more information from me, I would happily provide that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sir.
you.
Mr. Kitchens, could we make a note of that for follow-up?
I'll reach out to Mr. Ford and do some follow-up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Jeremiah Perry.
Yes, my name is Jeremiah Perry. I live at 1910 Potawatomi Street, Leavenworth, Kansas. I've lived at this residence for 14 years. I cut my grass, I take care of my yard like you're supposed to. I got a garden in the back, my yard's sprayed for mosquitoes, fertilized, everything. Well, the residence that lives at 1905 Ottawa, we've had an issue for over 13 years with the junk, the feral cats, and all the trash in the backyard. And so what I did, so we wouldn't have to look at it, I put a privacy fence up, went, got permit and did this. Well, this has been going on 13 years. I've been down to code enforcement. I've talked to Lee Burleson so many times I can't even remember. Same with Kathy Rogers. And I was told by them there's nothing they can do as long as they can't see it from the street. So I invited them over my property, gave permission, took them behind my privacy fence, let them look at this trash, this mess. And they told me something should be done about this and that they were on the city's radar for the last few years. Well, I'm figuring something's gonna happen. The yard's gonna get cleaned up or something. Months will go by, months go by, nothing gets done. I get a hold of the city commissioner at the time, Kamala Leonhard, which is no longer here, and she said she'd look into it. Nothing got done. And I keep hearing, just wait, let the legal take its course. Well, during this time, it is so overgrown, so many cars. I have trapped in the last 5 years 18 cats and relocated them out of that backyard because they're using my garden, my flower bed for a kitty litter box. And this summer, I killed 3 copperheads in between my fence coming out of their yard. And it's getting to be a nuisance. It's hazardous. The cats are multiplying like crazy. When I go back there and weed eat to keep my area clean between my privacy fence and my chain link fence, there were so many rats and mice jumping. It's ridiculous. So what I'm trying to do is see if I could get some cooperation that the city charter, the city code is, why can't something be done about this? And who's to blame for this? And this house is in 1905 Ottawa, which everybody in Leavenworth knows it's an eyesore. And then the house at 1904 Potawatomi, the next door neighbors to me, same situation. Terrible. Been going on till nobody cleans the yard up. They piled all the dirt, dead wood next to my house. I've had termite guys come out and spray because we got termites from it. I paid for that. Nothing got done from the city about that. And just last week, I called city code enforcement because we've had a sewer smell in this neighborhood for about 2 months, real strong. I mean, raw sewer. And so I started looking. They got raw sewage coming out the garage door and this is right by David Brewer Park by the flagpole. It's running out of their garage, running down the city sewer system. This goes on for 2 months. Nobody sees it. I'm the only one that kind of knows about it. People living there, they knew it, they just didn't report it. So when I called the city last Thursday, they did come out with big trucks. Sewer line broke, all the raw sewage is filling up in their yard. That's where I was getting the smell from. That issue has been addressed because they had to have it done. But it's like these people don't have no respect for the neighbors, both of these houses, they never will. We've lived there all these years and nothing gets done. And I'm at the point now, what do I do? And that's one of the things I wanted to read. I hope you all take this seriously, because this issue I'm at my ends with. I'm a 62-year-old disabled veteran with PTSD, and I don't know when I'm gonna snap. And the thing is, we pay our taxes, we're never late, we're never nothing. And Lee Burleson, when I was down here last week, was supposed to call me, never called me, so I've lost all due respect for her. She's an incompetent individual, you know. And
Okay, sir.
If nothing's gonna be
Excuse me,
done
sir.
about this.
Sir, we'll take that into consideration.
You see, I'm starting to get a little animated, because I got ways to take care of it. I
Well,
just retired,
and-
and I
and sir-
can take care of it in 5 minutes.
Sir, I appreciate your comments. I actually have a few thoughts, around some of the concerns also around town.
Right.
And I would like to make that as maybe a action item, maybe on a study session agenda or something like that to
It's
go
so
forward.
unhealthy, I mean, we can't sit in our backyard when it's 90 degrees because the bugs and mosquitoes eat us alive. I pay $80 a month to get my yard sprayed.
So, Mr. Perry, we'll take note of that. I appreciate your comments tonight, and
All right.
we will follow up with you,
All right,
okay?
Thank you so much, I appreciate your time. Sorry I got a little animated.
Thank you very much.
It's
all right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And up next is Louis Clem.
Louis Clemp, 1816 Pine Ridge Drive. Well, maybe it was 778 Cherokee back in the 30s and 40s. I don't know. I thought maybe some of you'd like to read about Iwo Jima. Oh my God, what was Iwo Jima? Yeah, but that's just history. Two things. Safety. We just had another safety meeting. You had a safety meeting. You paid a big price tag for it. You and I could have sat down and solved the problem, because today was the fourth day I almost got hit. Car was going probably 60 miles an hour on a 40-mile-an-hour zone. Oh, well, that's all right, no big deal, is it? That's what 20th Street is. 50, 55, 60, you'll see one occasion that's 65. So, but that's unimportant. Do not worry about somebody getting killed because somebody's going 60 miles an hour. The main thing I was here to talk about, in my extra time that I have left, give this guy credit, because he had more than 2 minutes. I want to thank the people of Leavenworth that keep the houses that they buy, the houses that they restore, the yards they keep mowed, and you name all the streets, and I could probably go down streets and tell you where so-and-so lived, so-and-so lived, so-and-so lived back in the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s, and they were good people. So I wanted to thank the people who take care of their houses and keep it restored. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Clem.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Klein.
Anyone else, sir?
No, that's all.
Okay. All right, with that, we'll move on to item 3, Resolution B 2374, Camp Leavenworth Special Event Street Closure for Possession and Consumption of Alcohol. All right.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, before you this evening for consideration is a resolution approving the special event known as Camp Leavenworth, which would close motor vehicle traffic to specific streets and allow for the possession and consumption of alcohol. This is an annual resolution that we pass to allow the alcohol to happen within Camp Leavenworth. So the streets that will be impacted will be closed the same as last year. So Cherokee between 2nd and South Esplanade, Choctaw between 2nd and South Esplanade, and South Esplanade from Delaware to 3 Mile Creek. By approving this resolution, this allows the alcohol vendors to acquire the appropriate temporary liquor license to the state of Kansas. The alcohol-friendly areas will be clearly marked, roped off, like we do every year. So we're just asking for approval of that so we can get our licensing in place.
Okay. Any questions, anyone? Okay. Then with that, we just need a motion.
I move to approve Resolution B-2374, Camp Leavenworth Special Event Street Closure for Possession and Consumption of Alcohol.
Second.
All right, motion's been seconded. We'll begin voting with Commissioner Pittman. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passed 5-0. Thank you, Sarah. Moving on to item 4, bids, contracts, and agreements. Consider award for contract for skate park expansion project. Hey, guys. Evening.
Mayor, Commissioner, good evening. Good to be here with you this evening. The item on the agenda is to review or to look at awarding a contract for proposals received to expand the Cody James Clark Skate Park out at Sportsfield. In 2009, the skate park was installed out at Sportsfield Park, located at 20th and Ottawa. When they prepared the original site, they graded out an extended area that is roughly 40 foot by 70 foot. Actually, it's about exactly 40 foot by 70 foot, 2,800 square feet. This was for possible thought of expansion of the skate park in the future. So a lot of the initial upgrade or survey work and things like that, compaction work and stuff that was done when they were developing the original skate park. At the February 20th study session this year, we sat down, City Commission and staff sat down and discussed the possibility of expanding the skate park this year in 2024. We looked at potential expansion into this 40 by 70 area. We saw staff represented as kind of the low-hanging fruit for the area, since it had already been surveyed, graded out. There was not money budgeted this year, so in the CIP. So what could we potentially do with the existing ground that was there, and figure out a way to pay for it out of this year's capital improvement program. With that, and with some discussion of some of our avid skaters, more specifically Dylan Lopez. Dylan Lopez has adopted the skate park and has been very, very active out there. If anybody's driven by it anytime recently, you don't see the graffiti that you used to see.
Yeah.
We've, Dave Summerall, our park superintendent, has gone with him and given him paint and rollers and drop pans and everything, and he's keeping up with it real well. We met with him initially on site when we were talking about expansion. We talked about what we could do in that area, and we talked about a concrete bowl in that area, and that was just, he was over the moon. He's like, that's what we and the skaters want if we're able to do it in that area. This isn't a large expansion of the skate park. That would be a much bigger project maybe in the future, if we expand it out to other areas. But it's certainly something that the skaters look forward to and think would be a great addition. So further discussion that evening at the study session, City Commission discussed how to fund this and what was in the CIP for this year, 2024, and identified upgrades that we were looking at to Southside Park, potential playground replacement there, as well as some parking in that area. And the City Commission came to a consensus that night to utilize those funds for this project. So with that, we put together a request for proposals and publicized that for the expansion of the existing skate park and for the construction of an in-ground bowl that would be concrete at the site. We got a lot of positive feedback from a lot of different skate companies. However, in the end, we only received one proposal, and that was from the local company Sands Construction here in town. We got a lot of, like I said, a lot of good feedback, a lot of questions from national companies, including the ones, Spawn Ranch, that put in the original skate park. I think in the end, for these national companies, it wasn't quite a big enough project for them to come, to mobilize to Leavenworth to do. Sands Construction was certainly interested in it and gave us a really good proposal. We have on the screen there and also in your packet. So the open space on the left, the blank space, is the existing pad, and on the right hand side there is the bowl that they're proposing to put in. It is a two-tiered depth bowl. If you come in on the top part, which would be on the north side, it comes down to 4 feet there, and then you skate down and go deeper down into 5 feet, and then that's where the drain is there in the bottom. It would be at the same concrete level as the existing concrete, so you come right off the existing above-ground features and go right down in the bowl. So we really love the design that Sands Construction came up with. There's some 3D views of it here. And we feel very comfortable with, obviously, they're doing the work out of Cody Park, and we've seen their abilities and what they're able to do with concrete and things. So we're really excited on the proposal that we received from them. It was in the amount of $151,000, which is well within, there was $252,000 originally earmarked for Southside. That's obviously a completely different project. That last slide there, that just shows the area where it's going, obviously, and then the drain where they will actually pipe it in a 12-inch storm drain underneath the ground all the way over to the creek and put riprap around it there. As I mentioned, the budget impact, there is $252,000 in the 2024 CIP that can be utilized to pay for this. And with that, staff does recommend the proposal from Sands Construction Company in an amount not to exceed $151,000 for the construction of this concrete bowl at the existing Cody James Clark skate park. And I reiterated in the proposal, it is not to exceed. So I requested that companies take into account anything they may run into, whether it be bedrock or anything. So with that, I'll open up to any questions for Brian and I.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm definitely in favor of moving forward with the bowl. With the remaining balance, is there any way we can look into adding any additional items such as lights, other things that we can, build to the skate park? I'm not a skater. I know we got some skaters, Billy's here and Mary Ann. I like some additional ramps, benches, or anything else that we could just, invest into the park for the expansion part.
Commissioner, it'd be difficult with the amount of money remaining. The above ground items that are already in place are spaced out accordingly between each other. We had looked at putting benches around the pad in the past. The issue that other cities and other entities have had with their skate parks, where they put benches around, they become part of the skate park. And they get torn up pretty quick because kids they'll go up on those and grind on the edges of those as well. It's something we could certainly entertain putting something like that. We've at times put picnic tables around since those are more movable. So that's as far as lighting, lighting's a pretty big price tag anytime you go to light something like that.
Okay.
We can certainly look into it staff-wise to see if there's anything else. It's difficult because we'd be coming in on ground zero for whatever, like if it's lighting or whatever.
I got you.
Then you gotta bring in electric and all that kind of stuff. So, but we can certainly look into it.
Yeah, just explore it, just see what
Sure.
options are available. Yeah, thank you.
What sort of safety measures are built into the bowl so that, skaters get out there and somebody who's not really experienced, like somebody like me.
Knee pads, helmets,
Yeah, I mean.
kind of responsible for your own.
There's an inherent risk.
That's-
There's an inherent risk
Yeah.
on the user, and I know there are some skaters here that could probably talk much more intelligently to that than myself, because I would fall too, Commissioner, out there. But anytime you go into a type of activity like that, there's an inherent risk, and you see some kids out there with helmets. Some don't. It's kind of they take upon themselves as to what level they want to protect themselves. But it's no different than a playground or really anything else.
Tennis court or
A tennis court.
I've injured myself on a tennis court too. It's like if it's an activity, it's going to be,
There's some inherent risks.
absolutely.
Well, if we don't have any more questions, Commissioner Pittman, do you have any questions?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Then with that, we just need a motion.
I move, do you want to move? I move approving the proposal from Sands Construction Company in the amount not to exceed $151,000 for construction of a concrete bowl at the existing Cody James Clark Skate Park. Sorry.
Like the rhyme, huh?
Motion been
A second.
All right, we'll begin voting with Commissioner Bowder.
Aye.
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 All right, motion passed 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, now we'll move on to item 5, first consideration ordinance to levy special assessments for nuisance abatement costs.
It's me. Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, before you this evening is a request for consensus on the first consideration ordinance to levy special assessments for unpaid nuisance abatement costs. The city code provides the tools for the city to abate nuisances such as mowing, tree removal, lot cleanup, and allows for the city to abate for the addition of administrative charges. The city code also provides for the assessment of the city's costs of these abatement if they go unpaid. The property owners are invoiced for the costs incurred to abate the nuisance and are given at minimum 30 days to make payment. Usually we do this once a year, so they have typically a whole year to make payment. We do send statements for payment to try to catch them before they go to special assessment. But in many cases, we have had to abate the property multiple times, so that is how the costs increase, as you see in the attachment that was included on some of those charges. So tonight, we're just seeking consensus to place the special assessment ordinance on first consideration in order to recover the city's costs.
Okay, thank you. Any comments? Okay, then we just need a motion on that?
It's a
Go
consensus.
ahead. Sorry, consensus. Go ahead, Commissioner Pittman.
I know that some people on the list have deceased. What do we do in this case? Do we go to the trust?
So the,
It gets filed on the property, so whoever is the owner of the property becomes responsible for the payments. And if enough time goes by and then they're not paid, then there's opportunities for redemption before a tax foreclosure sale. We've just got served today, and not served in a bad way, but the county has started that process for unpaid taxes and assessments for previous years, because there's a number of years that have to go by before you can actually sell the property on the courthouse steps, so to speak. And so at the end of the day, that's where it ends up. You ask the judge to declare a lien on the property and foreclose on that lien, and then people can purchase the property and pay off those liens at that time.
Thank you.
So then, yes, consensus to move
Yes.
forward?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good deal. Thank you. And with that, we'll go ahead and go to the consent agenda.
I move that we approve the claims for July 19, 2024 through August 8, 2024 in the amount of $1,859,546.44. Net amount for payroll number 15 effective July 26, 2024 in the amount of $447,352.83 includes police and fire pension in the amount of $7,491.38.
Second.
All right, motion's been seconded. We'll begin voting with Commissioner Bowder.
Aye.
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 Okay, and before we move on to our sixth item tonight, executive session, want to go around the horn, see if we've got any final comments?
I have nothing tonight.
Okay. Commissioner Pittman, any comments before we go to executive session?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Have a great week.
Nothing. Thank you. Everybody have a great rest of the week.
Yeah, I appreciate Mr. Klemp coming and talking about speeding and those kind of things. I was going to discuss this tonight anyway. I know someone who is 18 years old, who is in a coma, she's 18 years old, got her first car, and was hit by a truck who ran the red light. And, you know, I don't know, we've hired extra cops to take, traffic cops traffic police to try to take care of this. But it really is, you could not hire enough police officers to cover everybody that runs a red light. And to me, it's disgusting. I worked downtown for several years and I'm down there all the time anyway. And you know how many red lights get run down there? There was one day where there were 3 trucks, or three vehicles that ran red light after it was red. All 3 of them went right through the light. And I don't know what the answer is, but darn it, people need to take personal responsibility. When are we gonna wake up and see this child was in the right-of-way? This child was in the right-of-way. She was right, and this truck hit her. Now, how many times has that gotta happen before, people wake up and say, we need to be caution on the yellow light, we need to stop on the red light. I mean, even when it's green, I don't go right away, I wait and make sure. I don't know what the answer is, I just want to put it out there. If people in the public have an idea of how we can improve on this, and the speeding too, I would be happy to see it. I'm disgusted. Thank you. Have a good week.
I know today was the first day of school. Just want to, ask for special prayers for our teachers and our students. And a special thank you for the teachers and their hard work, their commitment and dedication. Just want to let you know you all are loved, valued, and appreciated. So special prayer for the teachers and students, and hope that everyone have a successful school year this year.
Amen.
All right, thank you. And I don't have anything. Hope everybody does have a good week going forward. I'd like to make a motion to move the city commission recess into executive session for a period of
15 minutes?
15 minutes. All right. Come back about, 6:46. For the purpose of discussing a real property matter with the city attorney under the justification for a consultation with an attorney for the public body or agency, which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship KSA 75-4319B2. The city commission, interim city manager, and city attorney will be present. The open meeting will resume in the city commission chambers at 6:46 PM. Just need a, wait a second?
Yep.
right. All right, I'd like to come back into our regular meeting here and just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. Good job, guys.